you join me again for the last episode of Gintama in this little season, this little arc, this small story case of a family torn apart, and whatever the hell this immortal teacher is. And I bet you didn't expect this one to be coming so soon. But I said I would. So here we are. The ties that bring everyone together can be strained, and I think we're about to learn exactly what has been going on, or we're about to really tell all. Is it going to be something shocking? Let's find out. And if it what? Is this the same as what we saw previous episode where he threw himself away to help help Shoryu escape? This time he knew it was over anyway and threw himself away. Did he have to cross blades and perish here to be able to impart the knowledge? But considering we are facing the end, the combination of everything that brought us here. We've had the story of Kagura, Umibozo, and Kamui. Almost forgot his name again. We've had that since they were first introduced, and it's been a slow burn. Just so that when it was actually shown off, we got that feeling of satisfaction rather than it just be told to us straight there. Sometimes the expedition dump is nice, but the journey makes it feel earned. Also, for the ending to play now is we know we're getting into the good parts. And of course, how does he know this story? Giving away the life he had and Shoryu to come back. After many experiment, many a test, both and neither. Brilliant. Which is his actual personality, which is the warped version for just having to exist for so long. I see. Does he have... So that's why he was drawn to him straight there. But how would anyone know he was immortal without testing it? You can kind of understand where anyone would fall into despair, maybe depravity, split himself off into different ways just so he can not have to face it. Now they're reaping the whirlwind of what they created. I mean, what better way to direct the vengeance and the danger? There's so many iterations that just long for the fight. To think that even after everything that this Utaro has gone through, being wow, actually murdering all the other personalities. That's definitely one way to visualize it. To think that's what he was going through, not only dealing with the reality in front of him, but his own. Oh, that was interesting. His own mental battle. Well, as good as any kind of consent. Nothing good will come of. Nothing good would come of immortality. It's something that he has proved. And yeah, any kind of being that can regenerate from being cut into pieces and burned, yeah, just putting them in shackles is never really going to work. So is he? How many of these planets are capable of housing this Altana? I see. One way to basically keep it all locked and secure. It was all just done to keep him in check. Now what? What could have caused that? There were some people in the vicinity. Who would have thought that controlling vast power sources and matters of material and energy would cause people to rebel slightly, especially against something like this. He asked with such a smirk. It would be the perfect time to of course he wasn't just going to have a single plan in play at once. Everything we saw was just a distraction. I see. So all you gotta do is keep them alive. Everyone, pull out your right arm right now and prove it wasn't you. How careless. We didn't know they were so close to literally decaying in front of us. It was you, you traitor! Oh, they all did it to save their skins. Of all of them that have just gone kablooey. I mean, after they got the first report of the place completely being destroyed, knowing that they also gave their keys over, do you think they start connecting the dots? And it seems Earth has a lot more to give. Earthlings are tenacious, after all. And to think attacking a galactic federation just to bring ire upon a planet so that he can end his own existence. How many world domination, world destruction plans are for that kind of reason? Hearing this kind of story, giving more reason for them to fight. All through the words of a dying man. Would love to have been a true student. How things might have been. And then nothing but silence afterwards. Being respectful. He knows not the final outcome of this, but that they all should be there. As diabolical as Shinsuke can be sometimes of his plans, he has the right heart. I see. So still blaming themselves. It was always going to be, after a life that long, something was gonna go wrong. If you knew you had this side, it would be a waiting game. Seeing what he could do with the time he had. Know that he had what? Been able to raise them correctly? Give them the fight to go forward? Actually imparting something on the world. And then continue to drip down and infect everyone else around them. I see. If he... I mean, was she ever really not going to join into that fight? As much as this place is her home. Okay, so she can't take things metaphorically. He has already proven that much. Does that mean that we might still be saying farewell to a couple of characters at the end of this? You would have known if you were actually around a bit more. of course, having a single solitary flower there, I think that kind of said more about Kamui's story over everything, any words that he could have said. And the fact that he remembered all of that. And now what, we return to the start? Samurai show themselves once more. That was never going to go down. Not without a fight. And also seeing that the episode is almost over and we're here, with such a defiant pose, the fight being taken back to Earth, I was thinking maybe things would be wrapping up, but no. Just to be delayed so we can experience it all over again. We've learned and experienced so much already. Why rush? I can only see future arcs and stories in Gintama trying to go ever forward, ever onwards, even more thought-provoking. There's so much just in this one. But Jesus Christ. We already knew that Utsuro had various personalities, him and Shoyo being the two most prominent ones, but seeing that his past there as why they were born, why the various altars came about because of his punishment at the hands of people. The issue with humans, I guess, is that we are fundamentally afraid of things we do not understand. And when someone has base immortality, it must be the work of the devil. Fortunately, though, in our current times, and hopefully more in the future, as our understanding grows, there'll be less and less to take immediate hostile action at. We'll just have to find something else. But one that has lived as long as Shoyo has, hundreds of years, experiencing the same kind of treatment wherever he went, breaking free, being able to be this teacher for a brief moment, knowing that at any point it could come crashing down and resort to what he once knew. Yeah, you can kind of understand why he went a bit forceful on making these students as good as they can be and imparting the lessons that he learned, that he taught them. But it's a bit of an odd one. Usually in Gintama, when we have these big end of arc bad boys, we get a moment like this, a bit of a backstory, a bit of what led them to this point, their thinking, their motives, their person. But with Shoyo, it's slightly different, because we getting who he was before, and we know kind of bits and pieces of who the separate beings are now, and we can empathise with them. We're rooting for Shoyo, but at the same time, it's not him, but it is him, but... my head. Well, that's Gintama. With Kamui leaving a single flower, I think that act in itself being quite powerful. Seeing especially as he kind of let go of everything that was before. And seeing the Tennoshiro getting royally bent over, having all of their gates explode in front of them, all their power dissipating, their bodies crumbling. The very thing they sought to get hold of is what's tearing them apart. Oh, the hubris. And of course, people talk about wanting immortality, but is it really something you want? If you think about it, he went through a lot. Burnt, stabbed, pulled apart, locked away in the dark until the very cage itself crumbled away. And he would have felt and experienced every part of it. Now, invulnerability is different. He might not live forever, but at least he can't be hurt. Now that we say goodbye to the first student, one that we've been wary of for so long, seeing him in the shadows have all of these actions and storylines that we've seen before, and Oboro has been the antagonist, the ones that we're rooting against. But just like everything else, as soon as you gain a bit more of understanding, you don't forgive them for what they've done, but you feel sorry for what could have been, as he said himself. Where could all of our lives led up to if we just took things differently? For better, for worse? I, for one, might have not have watched anime at all. It would have been so much better back then. All these life lessons, talking points, things to really start giving yourself some existential questions. Who would have thought it'd come from just strawberry parfait? But seeing as you're still here, you probably quite like Gintama. You don't want it to end anytime soon, so we might have to move on to some more. If you liked it, leave a like and a comment down below. Share with your friends and family. It really does help. But for now, give yourselves a bit of rest. And I'll see you in the next one. Whenever I'm locked in a prison of my own mind, I know that my patrons will be there pestering me ever onwards just to watch more anime. And let's be honest, if we've got nothing else to do, it seems like a good alternative. And so, I need to thank Electricant, Noku, Raywin, Kite, Sao, Arthea, Shiwan, Mats, Gurley, Cardboard, Croyville, Gintman, William Welch, Darkshadow7899, Megu42, Jeremiah Tima, Finesse Kid, and everyone else for being the other side of my channel when I need it most.